Hey, it's Reb, and this is my last slot as the Project Lifesize View of the Month. I've always known what I was going to talk about in this video ever since I was asked to be View of the Month quite some time ago. I'm quite sad to be finishing up my time as View of the Month. I really enjoyed being part of the project. But the first ever video that I did with regards to Project Lifesize was a video response to Gretchen, and I know that Gretchen has a strong connection with books. In fact, her personal channel, where she does her Novel Noms videos, are all meals that she cooks with particular books in mind. So what I wanted to do today was talk about a trilogy that I've read that I think has a powerful message to send to us when we think about the Project Lifesize message. Now, it's these three books. I mean, you'll notice that they're really quite striking designs on the covers. It's Uglies, Pretties, and Specials. I'm not sure if Scott Westerfeld, the author, has a name for the trilogy, but I've been calling them the Tally Youngblood trilogy because it's the name of the heroine. Basically, it's a story of a futuristic world in which our overconsumption of fossil fuels has been our downfall, and people live a much more sort of environmentally friendly lifestyle. But the other big thing that's important to note about this world is that everyone is beautiful. And it transpires that at the age of 16, everyone goes through a cosmetic operation, so surgery, to make them all look pretty much the same, whatever the evolutionary ideals of beautiful amount to being. You know, big eyes, full lip, well-proportioned face with symmetrical features, everything. And basically, until the age of 16, you're termed an ugly, and then anyone over the age of 16 are pretties. I think that's one thing that I notice about the books. It's really immersive because it sets you up with this language. Pretties, uglies, anything bad is bogus, anything good is sort of bubbly, and the characters all talk in this language, and even though it's a third person narrative, all of the language and all of the sort of mindset related descriptions of environments are all done in such a way that it puts you into the mindset of the way that the characters would be thinking at the time. Now, one thing you've got to bear in mind when reading these books is that they're YA, young adult novels. So they're obviously written for a teen audience, but that's no reason why you can't enjoy them even if you're an adult. Okay? Good. Let's continue. It's a fantastically written trilogy, and it was gripping all the way through. I mean, I finished this book on a 4-hour flight. So, you know, it's really telling about the novel if you can read it that quickly. It's really involving really interesting book series that really ask a lot of sociological questions, a lot of psychological questions to the reader, and they really set you up thinking, well, what would happen if everyone was made to look the same? Would we be happier? And there's all sorts of political intrigue and everything in there as well. The ideals of war, the ideas of sort of doing things to people against their will, with the greater good in mind, but obviously what you term to be the greater good and what people think is good for them is always going to be different. Really do recommend reading these books. It shouldn't take, well, they're quite thick, but it didn't take me very long to read them. The pace really helps along. Well worth reading, well worth getting stuck into, because they really make you think about the world that we live in and what we could be doing differently. And with that, I think I will leave Project Lifesize, and I will bid you farewell.